Okay guys, it's been a long time since I've sent anything online or did anything. I'm hoping this camera's microphone is picking things up, but as you can see, the last time my bike looked a little different. I've got a temporary upper clamp on there from a XL standard. This is a custom, but I wanted to get the handlebars lower than what they were. I didn't like them way up high in the air. As you can see right now, they will hit the tank. I'm not really worried about it right now because I need to repaint it. But I like the way that it looks, and I can actually see through the mirrors now that they're down. And now that they're down, the mirrors don't hit the tank, which is cool. But I've seen a lot of people mount their gauges on this side in different locations. I really didn't like that. The place I mounted it, I saw a guy online, he put his on the breather over here, and I thought that was really cool how that did. I don't know how the vibrations are going to work, you know, because it looks like it really vibrates. As you can see, I don't have the gauge cup that goes with this, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be making a gauge cup. I got me some sheet metal. I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to lay me a pattern out, and we're going to see how it works. I've never welded sheet metal with this welder. As a matter of fact, I really have barely ever used the MIG wire. Most of the time, I use the gasless, the gasless flux cord wire. The main thing to remember about that is, if you run that, it runs on the gasless wire. It runs on a different polarity, and you got to remember to flip your polarity over on your machines. Otherwise, you're going to be like, "What the hell's going on here?" But I chopped the fender up. I thought that looked pretty cool. I saw a guy with a bike like that, and I just thought it looked really cool. I made a mistake when I mounted the turn signals. I measured and everything looked good, but you can see there's a gap there and there's not over there. So I'm going to take this one off, and I got a piece of brass. I'm going to be plugging that up, put a piece of brass behind it, weld over it, grind it down, make it smooth, and then remeasure it and put it in the right spot. But otherwise, I thought it turned out pretty good, you know. I'll be changing a few other things on it, but that's pretty much the way it's going to be. But this video mainly is going to show me doing this little gauge cup. Most of the gauge cups you buy online, they're like $150 and they're chrome, and I don't like that. I don't like chrome. And especially if I'm going to pay mainly when you buy stuff like that online, you're buying the chrome because the part doesn't cost nothing to make. And then what's the sense of buying it chrome when you're going to take the chrome back off? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to make my own. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I don't want it looking like crap. I saw one guy use a soup can to put that on there, which I would have done that if I could have found one to fit it, but I could not. So but I think just to go ahead and remaking it. I can't get over here, the sun's kind of bright. But I'm going to go ahead and make that, and I'm going to see how it turns out. Got my father-in-law's bike here sitting beside me, so I don't really have a whole lot of room to take a picture of this. But, okay, I'm going to start making that. I'm going to go ahead and get it cut out, and I'll be back. Okay, guys. This is what I ended up with. I just built a cup. Now, you guys that are actual sheet metal people, you're going to laugh because I'm not a sheet metal welder. I am a steel welder, actually a ship fitter by trade. But I've never welded sheet metal before, and I realize you got to just kind of squirt it in there, kind of tap it in there to get it in there. I know it looks rough and ugly, and there's a lot of you guys that weld sheet metal all day that could probably make it a lot better than that. But I'm going to clean it up. You can see my center punch mark where I center punched to draw it. And like I say, not a sheet metal guy. If I have to, I'll put some body filler on it or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and clean that up and try and make it look the best I can. But I think it'll turn out okay. Like I say, if it turns out bad, I've got $5 into it, so whatever. Alrighty, back in a bit. Okay, now that I got it all welded up and kind of bleh looking, it really does need some body work. You know, put a little bit of filler over it. I had to cut a notch in it because I'm going to try and hold this with my knees and show you.
the cable has to go in there. So when that goes in, see, the cable has to go up in there. So now that I welded that seam up really good, and then I had to cut it back out, so that kind of sucked. But I'm going to try and tuck that away in the back where you won't see that. Like I say, it really does need some body work, but I'm just going to paint it right now, and then later on, if I ever really get an ambition to do anything more to it, I'll do some more. But I got to get the thing covered right now because I don't like riding around with it without anything on it. But that's kind of my halfway. I'm gonna try and locate the hole for the push button for the thing, the old thing for the speedometer, tripometer. I mean, tripometer, and try and locate it to where it's going to sit in there, because you see it's got a relief in the back of that, and I don't know, where the measurement is or whatever, but I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to measure that. As for the screws going in it, you see the odometer gauge that I have right there. When it goes in there, it's going to clamp down on it pretty tight. I don't really foresee needing to put those screws in there. That would just be another thing that I'd have to measure and all like that, so I'm not even going to worry about it unless it causes problems later. But like I say, I'm going to go ahead and paint it so it doesn't rust, and later on, if I feel like coming back with some body filler or whatnot, I'll do that. More likely not. But hey, it'll be covering it, so it don't look like complete utter duke. Alright, there's the finished product. It's painted. It's in. Like I said, I don't think it looks too awful bad. It could use some body work. I mean, you can see stuff like this is chipping on here, and I'm not really worried about that. I shot it with some spray paint over chrome, and you got to put like a self-etching primer or something like that on there to cut that down, to where you can shoot it over it. But I'm gonna have a friend of mine paint my tank and paint what little bit was left of the fender and my side pieces, and I'll have him do that. And I may or may not get this powder coated along with the headlight case. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's on there, and as you can see, sitting on the bike, I can see it, and that's got that 4.5 gallon tank, so it's kind of hard to see around if you put it in any other place. But there it is. Alrighty. Okay, this is it, all washed up, all nice and clean. And see it. That's my little boy. He's out playing in the waddy hose.
Yep. But
step away, please.
I'm gonna be in the sprinkler too, but that motorcycle is gonna have to move.
You think so?
I know so.
There we go. And that's a done job. Thanks for watching. Later.